So I was walking to the bus after school today, and somebody accidentally walked into me, and I did what I usually do and said sorry. And it made me think in that moment, because I was walking up the hallway thinking of, like, what am I going to topic this video? And it's almost like the universe was like, hey, here's a topic for you. And it made me think of, like, people pleasing and, like, apologizing when it's not your fault. And I know that for me personally, maybe I'm the only one, but I struggle with that a lot. That's kind of always been my issue. Not even really an issue, but like my flaw, my red flag, whatever you want to call it. And it's like, that's, I guess, the perks of people pleasing. Because I know I was always raised to, you don't have to be friends with everybody, but you have to be friendly with everybody. And when you're younger, I guess that's good to go by, but as you get older, it's really not. Or at least not to the extent that I've taken it to, because I really struggle with saying no. I've gotten a little bit better. I mean, I've tried to get better, and I have gotten better to a certain extent. But it's like, why am I like that? Like, why do I struggle with that? Like, no is part of the vocabulary, just as useful as the word yes. Why don't we use it as much as we use the word yes? And originally I thought that was like a good thing, but it's not. It's a really, really, really bad thing. Because, like, you do things even when you don't want to do it, even when it's going to hurt you. Hi, guys. But you do the things even when you know that they're going to hurt you. And obviously that's not good. But it's like, what I'm saying? Like, I've struggled with that pretty much my whole life. And a lot of the situations that I've been in could have been avoided if I would have just said no. Even today, like, this was a situation I did avoid. It's a very small example, but, like, it's what came to mind. It's this morning, somebody was on call. Like, I was sitting in the cafeteria waiting for the day to start. And my friend was on call with this person he's talking to, and he asked me if he could borrow my AirPods when I'm sitting here listening to music. And I'm like, no. Or just, like, I know that's a really, like, not dumb example, but, like, a really small example. But it's what happened today. That's what came to mind. Why do I always find a jungle in every one of these videos? Ooh, room portal. But it's, yeah, like, I know it's a really small example, but it's what came to mind. But, like, it can work for really anything. I mean, a while ago, with, like, I would struggle to even say, like, why is there so many footsteps? I would struggle to even just not apologize when it wasn't even my fault to begin with. And I'm doing things now to improve on that. Like, I have to, like, whenever, used to be at work on autopilot, like, someone would run into me and I'd immediately say, sorry or my bad or whatever. Now it's like my brain is like, wait a minute, stop and think about it before you say it. Because I've done it for a couple months, so it's kind of no longer on autopilot. But it's like, now I stop and think, like, okay, was it my fault? Am I the one that initiated that, or were they the one that initiated it? So, like, I'm not, I really don't want to go into this jungle, but I'm not, like, blaming myself for everything. And you can't really blame yourself for everything. I've gotten so many emails, like, I did a whole video on blaming yourself, so I'm not going to get into that. But it's like, you can't assume everything is your fault and apologize for it. And that kind of goes in with people pleasing. I guess people pleasing isn't really the same thing as that. It's being able to say no. But I mean, it all kind of goes together. A lot of these videos you can tie together in more ways than one. But that's what makes this channel good, I guess. But yeah, so, like, you just learning to say no, learning to stick up for yourself too is another thing. I mean, I used to let people walk over me all of the time, and I still do. And I've lost a lot of friends by actually starting to stick up for myself. Like, usually, like, the friend group that I used to be in. Sorry guys if my voice is a little like, I've been sick the past couple of days, and today is like the first day I've actually sounded decent enough to get on here and talk. But anyway, the friend group I used to be in was one of them that would like always like tease you, and you could never really tell if it was playful or not. And I don't know if you guys have ever been in a situation like that where you could never tell if it was playful or if it was just them saying it. And I would always just kind of sit there like, hey, yeah, haha, funny, you know. Like this group would always like say things like comment on my weight and how I looked. And it's also one of the main reasons why I am insecure about things that I am. But yeah, so that they would comment on that and be like, you know, how I look and how I act and how I do things and how I make my choices. And it's like, I should have just stuck up for myself and like, hey, can you not do that? Like, I'm not comfortable with that. But I guess I was scared. I guess the one reason that I did people pleasing for so long is because I thought that it kind of all ties in with confidence. Everything kind of goes back to confidence. I was scared that I was never going to find anybody else, I guess. And not even I guess, I know that's what it was. I was always scared I could never find somebody else, so I never stood up for myself. But now that I do stick up for myself, I've found other people that don't treat me that way and that actually care for me. And my life is so much better now. It's all the tiny things that you like. People say that their lives are miserable, and yeah, I'm not saying that your life, maybe to you it is miserable, because I've been there before, trust me. But if you just start fixing every little tiny, like if you just not even fixing, but start changing the environment and changing the world around you to fit how you actually want it to be and the things that you can control, it will eventually get better. And like, if you just stop saying yes to everything, like you don't, a desert temple. Like, you don't need to say yes to every little detail. And yes, people may get mad at you. I've had a lot of people get mad at me, and before it would be like, oh no, like what am I gonna do? Like I literally thought the world was going to end because somebody was mad at me. But now it's like, okay, yeah, they're gonna get over it. And if they don't, then I don't need them in my life anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the end of the world if somebody gets mad at you. And I mean, I'll say that to a certain extent too. Like, don't go like cussing out a boss or whatever, but like, if your friend asks you for, I don't know, to borrow something, you don't have to give it to them. Or that's like a very small example, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, if somebody asks to borrow something that you're not comfortable giving, say no. You know, you don't have to say yes to everybody. Even though sometimes people make us think that we need to. Sometimes people trap us into thinking that we need to say yes to everything. But we don't. We don't have to say yes to everything, because that's only going to make your life more miserable. In all honesty, saying yes to everything is only going to make your life more miserable. Because you're only ever going to want to do what other people want you to do and not what you truly want to do. Oh, diamonds. And that's just... oh my gosh, 5 diamonds. And that's just not what you want to do. At least that's not what I want to do in my life. Maybe that's just me, but... So, yeah. Another thing, too, about people pleasing that I've noticed is, because I go to a type of technical school, kind of like out of the school that I go to kind of learn other things, kind of like a trade school. But so I go to one of those, and in there, oh, here's one example I'm actually thinking of right now. is we did one time the teacher was, is there a village over there? One time the teacher was up on the board presenting something, going over some things. And she got a phone call and she asked the people, asked somebody to, hey, go up to the board, show yours off. And I really didn't want to. I was having a bad day that day. And everybody, this one kid that sat to the right of me, which me and him were good friends, but he was just joking with me, but he was like, hey, you should go up and do it. And I was the first thing I was like, no, I really don't want to do it. And he's like, oh, come on, you should do it. And he asked somebody else if he thought I could too. And he was like, yeah. And eventually I was like, listen, I don't want to go up and do it. I'm not going to do it. Stop telling me. And they were like, oh, come on, you should do it. And they were like, we're going to do a class, vote. That's the word. We're going to do a class vote, it goes up there. You should go up there. And I'm like, no, I don't care what you're doing. I'm not going up there. And in that moment, that was the first big moment that I ever really stood up for myself. So there was it was kind of weird because that was the very first moment that I ever truly stood up for myself. I know that's kind of sad, how many years, oh my goodness, how many years have I been alive? And that's the first big moment I stood up for myself. But it's I was really proud of myself. So I was like, hey, I just did that. I just stood up for myself. I didn't let these people walk over me because I really didn't want to go up to the board and show what I had. Get out, buddy, my bed. So yeah, that moment, I was really proud of myself. So it's I finally did. I need to get some food. But it's yay, I finally did it, It's it's one of the moments where you're thinking back on it now, it's yeah, that's not that big of an accomplishment. But, I mean, I still see it as an accomplishment. It's the first time that I did something towards becoming the better version of myself. And that's all you can ever ask, You can't ask more of yourself than what you can do. So this was a while ago. And I was sitting on the bus, and this was after a breakup I had just gone through. So it was kind of I was already in a bad mood anyway. But, so I was okay, stop. And he kept wanting to look over my shoulder. Because I was texting this person, I was telling them how bad my day had been. And he just kept looking over my shoulder. No matter what I did, he just kept looking over my shoulder. And usually I'd just be I'd be annoyed, but it'd be whatever. He's looking over my shoulder or whatever, it's fine. But not that day. That day, it was bad. And I looked at him, I'm like, listen, dude, you need to not do that. This is my personal space. It's none of your business what I'm doing. Can you stop looking over my shoulder? And he was real cool about it. He's not a bad person, but it was that was another moment where it's oh my gosh, who was that? You don't even realize it's yourself half of the time. And what's the recipe for a saddle? I have no idea. But it's you don't even realize that it's you. Is this 2 different villages? But you don't even realize that it's you in the moment because you're not even thinking. But it's oh my goodness, that's me. I'm doing something I never thought I would do. I don't know, I always see those moments as something cool and something to write down in a journal. I don't know if you guys do a journal. I do a journal. Or not really a journal, but a little thing in my notes app. Every day it's what good things did I accomplish today? What new things did I accomplish? Because, then I can look back at it, maybe at the end of the week or the end of the month, and look at how far I've come. But yeah, so it's kind of crazy. But literally all my life, I've been somebody that you could always walk over. And one thing too is I had this one friend. We don't talk anymore. We had a falling out, but she was one of the people that would always be yeah, you need to not let people walk all over you. She was one of the people that was very strict, only had a couple friends, didn't care what people thought. And I always strive to be like her. I was yeah, that'd be so cool to not care, what anybody thought of you. And being able to just say no out of nowhere. And I was talking to her one day and I'm like, I did it. Like, I'm so proud of myself. I got there. And I don't even remember where I was going with this conversation. This isn't the topic I had in thought when I brought her up, but another village, jeez. But, what even was it? I don't even remember what it was going to be. Anyway, we'll just go as we go. Yes, she didn't care. She didn't care what anybody thought. And it's like, I always thought that was the coolest thing. And now it's like that I'm there. Because I would always text her, like when I went to my grandparents' house, or I would always like text her at night. And in my grandparents' house, they have this big basement. And I would always like walk laps around it at night to get exercise in, after a day. And I would always text her as I was doing these laps. And one time I was doing it and I was like, I've done it. Like, I don't really care anymore. And I created these lists of reminders on my phone. And I don't know if you guys use the reminders app for the way that I do, but I don't use it for like actual, like, do this, do that reminders for like, or just say homework. I use the calendar for that. But, hi buddy. But I use the reminders for a use of like daily things to do in terms of like mental health. And if you guys don't use the reminders app, use it for this. I mean, it works wonders. So like, I have 6 reminders set up throughout the day, and the top one, or the only one that really goes with this video, is, say no to one thing you don't actually want to do. And I have it set my reminders, so I get a little notification every like hour. And it's just a little reminder, so it's like, I'm not saying yes to something I don't want to do. Like, there's a lot of things that I don't want to do that I always signed up for, and I'm regretting it to this day now, but I'm not getting in any more of those situations. I'm just getting out of the ones that I've done for so long. So that's kind of, if you can get one takeaway from this video, it's that you don't always have to say yes, and not everybody always has to like you. Because not everybody is going to like you. That's the truth of reality. Not everyone's going to like you. You have to accept that. But you also need to find the people. Oh my goodness. You also need to find the people that are going to like you for you, and not for the people that can. Oh, this is where I was going to go with that conversation. Little U-turn. I was always the person that everyone would walk over. And a lot of the people that I don't talk to anymore is because I was always the person that, you could text for a definite yes, if you needed something. Like, I would never say no. And whenever I started actually sticking up for myself and saying, hey, I don't want to do this, how many people left? And I don't mean to say that in a scary way. That's not my intention with that. Like, don't think of it as, oh man, I'm alone, everybody left me, I'm by myself. Think of it as, now I know who the real friends were and who the people that were just using me were. Because now I have my little small circle of, jeez, I'm so used to bedrock having to crouch. But I'm so used to, not so used to, jeez, that startled me. Anyway, it let me see who my real friends are and the people that were just using me. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to be friends with somebody that's just using me because they know I'll say yes. And I had a lot of people like that. I had a lot of friends that now tell me how quote-unquote bad of a friend I am just because I don't say yes to everything, or I don't drop everything to help them. And I'm not saying be a jerk either. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, go out and be a jerk to all your friends, but you don't have to. Like, here's the final example before I go, because we're going up on time here. I was really close to this. Well, kind of close. We met at a summer school camp thing a couple summers ago. And me and her have kind of been like back and forth friends. You know, we don't have any classes together, so we never really talked except for in the morning in the cafeteria for the bell ring. But there's so many villages in the seed, my goodness. But a little while ago, after the most recent breakup, a couple weeks ago, almost going on a month now, she came up to me and I told her, I was like, hey, you know, I'm going through this breakup, like, you know, the normal thing you tell people so they know what to expect. And she walked in the next morning and like, I know she was trying to comfort me, but I was in like one of them moods where like I did not want to talk to anybody. I'm like, leave me alone, you know, like I'm in a mood, don't talk to me. So I was sitting there at the cafeteria desk. I was just sitting there with my head down, AirPods in. I was either listening to music or scrolling. I don't remember which one. But I was doing that. She walked up behind me and she like, I think she asked me if I was okay. And I just kind of like said, and didn't do anything. And she got really mad at me for that because apparently I was being a bad friend and ignoring her. And so now we don't talk anymore. She sent me this big old long paragraph about how I'm such a horrible person. And it's like, I'm not going, my goodness. It's like, I'm not going to, you know, go out of my way when I'm already in a bad mood just to make you happy. You know, like that's kind of how we're going to end this off, tie it all in together with that. Like, I wasn't going to go out of my way when I was already in a bad mood just to, you know, make her happy. You know, like I said before, I'm not saying be a jerk, but if you're like, you don't owe anything to anybody. That is the takeaway quote that's been, you know, coming up in the back of my mind for the past 20 minutes. You don't owe anybody anything unless like you're dating them or something. But if you're single, you don't own anybody anything, even your bestest friends. I mean, you own them more than ever. You should be nice to them. Like, obviously, they're your best friends. If you don't want to be nice to them, then you probably shouldn't be their best friend. But you don't technically owe anybody anything. So if you don't feel like doing it, don't do it. Like, if you don't feel like opening that text message yet, don't. You don't have to. You don't have to, you know, go to that hangout or go to that party or, you know, if you don't want to, don't do it. You don't owe anybody anything. So yeah, that's going to kind of wrap it up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, sorry for being gone for so long. And see, there's the people pleasing thing again. You see it happening in like live. Like, I was sick, so I shouldn't have to apologize for that, but my brain immediately goes to it. But yeah, so I was sick, so that's why I didn't do any videos. So yeah, that's going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know down in the comment section down below if you guys have any topics you'd like me to cover, as well as my email is always open if you guys have any questions, concerns, or stories you would like to share. I've had so many people over there emailing me, just telling me stories, asking for advice, asking for questions, and I'm always here to help. So if you guys do want a private talk with me, we can do that over, well, as private as emailing can be. That isn't in a YouTube comment section. We can do that over there on the email. The link is in the description down below. Or not the link, but the email address is in the description down below. Hey guys, hope you all are having a fantastic day, afternoon, evening, night, wherever it is you're watching this from. And I'll see you all in the next video. Stay positive.